Greetings and welcome back to room 303 in our chats with Emily, as we are calling our readings through the poetry of Emily Dickinson. We are in the Johnson edition. We turn out to poem 643, I Could Suffice for Him I Knew. Now, she uses this word suffice in 17 of her poems. Obviously, the question of this poem will be, as so often when we meet these poems, who is the him that we are speaking about? Ruth Miller will argue that we're back again to the master poems. You guys will remember when we did 616. I rose because he sank. I thought it would be opposite, but when his power dropped, my soul grew straight. I cheered my fainting prince. I sang firm even chants. I helped his film with him. And when the dews drew off that held his forehead stiff, I met him balm to balm. I told him best must pass through this low ark of flesh. No cask so brave it spurned the grave. I told him worlds I knew, where emperors grew, who recollected us if we were true. And so, with views of him, and sinew from within, and ways I knew not that I knew till then, I lifted him. Now, our assumption is that you've been following our stuff at learnstrong.net. Down that left-hand side, Chats with Emily, our playlist. I'm hopeful that you've worked through our set of introductory comments in the preceding 642 poems. We just finished with 642, me for myself. Now again, here Emily is going to struggle with deciding. Do I give away everything for love? Or do I decide it's too great of a sacrifice? She'll say it this way. I could suffice for him I knew. He could suffice for me. Yet, hesitating fractions both surveyed infinity. Would I be whole? He sudden broached, my syllable repelled. 'Twas face to face with nature forced, 'twas face to face with God. Withdrew the sun to other wests, withdrew the furthest star. Before decision stooped to speech, and then be audibler. The answer of the sea unto the motion of the moon, herself adjust her tides unto. Could I do else with mine? Notice the genius of the dash in that final line. Could I dash, do else, dash with mine? And again, the question of this poem is, am I going to give everything away for this one that I feel is enough, sufficient enough for me? And will he do the same? Notice, I could speculates, right? In other words, for him, I could give it all away, right? He could suffice for me. Yet, I think that may be the key word, hesitating fractions. In other words, now we're starting to think both. In other words, Emily, as well as the would-be lover or master, surveyed infinity. In other words, gave some consideration to God. We're going to get face-to-face with God here in a little bit. And then notice, would I be whole? Notice no question mark here. He sudden broached. My syllable rebelled. And I think rebelled is the key word of the poem. And I think that's the point. Emily will say, I can go so far in consideration of giving up everything for this one. And yet there's a rebellion. 'Twas, notice, face to face with nature, force. Notice the dash with forced dash. 'Twas face to face with God. You'll maybe remember this with God construction of poem 28. We'll see it again in 844. We'll see it in 924. We'll see it in 1052. This idea of being with God. And once one is with God in that regards, then notice, withdrew the sun to other wests. We go from rebellion to withdrawal. Withdrew the farthest star before decision, stoop to speech. And again, this stoop to speech is a line that is one of the many reasons why we called our series Chats with Emily. And then be audibler. Now, it's interesting when she says when we stop talking, then we can actually hear each other. The answer, notice, we'll finish with a question mark. The answer of the sea under the motion of the moon, Emily, as we've said, loved the current study of science of her day, herself adjust her tides unto. Could I, again as we said, dash, do else, dash with mine. Now when we get to poem 1053, we will come back to this study, and it will be, and I think it will be fun to see the way in which these two poems read together. It was a quiet way he asked if I was his. I made no answer of the tongue, but answer of the eyes. And then he bore me on before this mortal noise with swiftness as of chariots and distance as of wheels. This world did drop away as acres from the feet of one that leaneth from balloon upon an ether street. The gulf behind was not, the continents were new. Eternity it was before, eternity was due. No seasons were to us. It was not night nor morn, but sunrise stopped upon the place and fastened it in dawn. Okay, now how are we going to find a message here? I think her argument is it is hard to know how much to give up for the one that you wish to be with. We say suffice, but is it enough? Okay, and to be, well, obviously the question is, who is the him of the poem, right? Are we talking Sam Boyles? Are we talking Wadsworth? I mean, who are we talking about here that she is in discussion with, consideration of whether she should give everything up or not? At 3A, as we said, poem 1053 immediately comes to mind. At 3B, what was a time when you had to make a hard choice about love, whether you would give up everything for it? Thank you.